Most people think the 1% got there because of talent, or money, or luck, or connections, or that they were born into the right family, went to the right school, knew the right people. And I get why that's a comforting story, because if it's true, it means the game was rigged before you even sat down. It means your circumstances are the reason. It means you're off the hook. But I'm going to tell you something that's going to be harder to hear and more useful to understand and accept. The thing that actually separates the top 1% from everyone else is not talent, not resources, and not luck. It's one thing, and it's a thing that every single person watching this video has access to right now. Tonight, let's get into it. What's good, everybody? I'm the Saint TC. I work 12 plus hour shifts as a foreman, and I'm building Sweet Dreams Enterprises every night from 8 to 11 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. This channel is about building wealth, discipline, mindset, fitness, and faith for the man who's serious about becoming who he's supposed to be. Today I'm breaking down the one variable that actually separates the people who build something from the people who watch them. Not a productivity system, not a morning routine, the one thing underneath all of it. Let's go. Before I tell you what it actually is, I want to address the myths, because most people will hear what I'm about to say, nod along, and then go back to using a myth as a reason why they're not where they want to be. So let's clear the board. Myth number 1, it's talent. Talent is real. Some people are naturally gifted in certain areas. But talent without execution is just potential. And potential that never gets activated is indistinguishable from having nothing. I can name you a dozen people right now who are more naturally gifted than the people at the top of their field. They're still unknown. They're still waiting. Their talent is sitting in a room somewhere, unused because they never put in the reps. Talent tells you what's possible. It doesn't build anything on its own. Myth number 2, it's money. There are people who started with nothing and built everything. There are people who started with everything and lost it. Capital accelerates things. That's real. But if you think money is a barrier between you and success, I want you to name me one thing you could be building right now with $0 that you are not building. A YouTube channel costs nothing. A service business costs nothing. Learning a skill costs the price of a library card or a YouTube search. The resources exist. Money is an accelerant, not a prerequisite. Myth number 3, it's luck. Luck exists. I'm not going to pretend timing and circumstance don't play a role. But luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The people who consistently get lucky are the people who were already in motion when the opportunity appeared. You can't get lucky sitting still. Luck finds a person who showed up before the doors opened. So what is it? What's the one thing that actually separates the people at the top from everybody else? Consistency on the unglamorous days. That's it. Not a hack, not a secret framework, not a morning routine, or a biohack, or a vision board. Consistency. On the days when nobody is watching, on the days when you're exhausted, on the days when nothing is working yet and the results haven't arrived, and your confidence is thin, and the couch is right there, and every reasonable part of your brain is telling you to take the night off. The 1% are not more motivated than you. They don't feel more inspired. They don't wake up every morning lit up with energy and excitement. They have the same doubts, the same tired nights, the same moments of wanting to quit. The difference is what they do with those moments. They show up anyway. Not because it's easy, because they decided. They made a commitment that doesn't renegotiate based on how they feel on a given Tuesday. I'm going to say something that might sound simple, and I want you to actually sit with it. The most valuable skill a person can develop is the ability to do the right thing when they don't feel like it. That's it. That's the whole game. Not talent, not strategy. The ability to take the right action in the absence of motivation. If you can build that, you can build anything. Now I want to talk about why consistency is actually hard. Because I think a lot of people here just be consistent and feel like they're being lectured by someone who doesn't understand what it feels like to be genuinely exhausted. I work 12 plus hour shifts, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., sometimes later. Some days are straightforward. But some days are genuinely brutal. Equipment failures, personnel issues, decisions that carry weight. By the time I go to the gym, get home, and sit down at my desk at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. roughly, there's a version of me that genuinely wants to do nothing. That version is real, and I'm not going to pretend it isn't. Here's what I learned about that version: it lies. Not maliciously. It genuinely believes it's protecting you. It tells you that you've earned the rest, that one night off won't matter, that you can make it up tomorrow. And all of those things feel true in the moment, but tomorrow comes with its own exhaustion and its own reasons to wait. And the night off becomes 2 nights, and 2 nights becomes a drift, and a drift becomes a gap between who you are and who you intended to become. Consistency is hard because the cost of breaking it is invisible in the moment. You don't feel the loss when you skip one night. The consequence is silent. It doesn't announce itself. It just accumulates quietly in the background until one day you look up and realize that a year has passed and the thing that you said you were building is in the same place as you left it 12 months ago. But here's a reframe: the cost of consistency is also invisible in the moment. You don't feel the compounding when you show up on a tired Wednesday. The brick you lay tonight doesn't look like much by itself, but you're not laying one brick. You're building a wall. And a wall built one brick a night, every night, for a year, is something real. Something that exists. Something that couldn't have been built any other way. I want to kill the romanticized version of consistency because I think it's what stops people from actually building it. The romanticized version looks like this: every morning you wake up at 5 a.m. with clarity and purpose. You execute a perfect routine. You work on your craft for hours with total focus. You post the content. You close the laptop satisfied. And you go to sleep knowing you crushed it. That version exists sometimes, maybe 5 or 6 days a month. The real version looks like this: you come home from your shift genuinely tired. You go to the gym because you decided that's a non negotiable, not because you want to. You shower and eat and sit down at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And you open the laptop, and for the first 10 minutes, you're not fully there. And then you start. Maybe you only produce 60% of what you could do on a good night. Maybe the script you write is rougher than usual. Maybe the content plan you map out has gaps you'll fix later. But you showed up. You put something on the board. You kept the streak alive. And that matters more than you know. The people who build something real are not the people who perform brilliantly when they feel inspired. They're the people who show up when they don't. Every single time. Without exception. Not because it always feels worth it. Because they've stopped letting the feelings make the call. I want to bring in something that doesn't show up in most productivity content, because I think it's the most important part of this conversation. The deepest source of consistency I've found isn't a system. It isn't accountability. It isn't a streak counter or a habit tracker or a productivity app. It's this: I believe God gave me specific gifts and a specific vision for a reason, and I believe He expects me to steward them with everything I have. Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters." That verse doesn't say work hard when you feel like it. It doesn't say show up when the results are visible. It says whatever you do, all your heart, always. When I'm sitting at my desk at 10:30 p.m. on a night where I've already given 12 hours to a job and 90 minutes to the gym, and I'm running on empty, the thing that gets me to open the laptop isn't discipline in the abstract. It's the belief that this work matters beyond the income it generates or the subscribers it attracts. I'm not just building a brand, I'm being faithful with what I've been given, and that obligation doesn't take nights off. Whether you share that faith or not, I want to offer the underlying principle. Find the reason your consistency means something beyond the outcome. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's a version of yourself you made a promise to. Maybe it's a legacy you don't want to leave. Whatever it is, connect your daily discipline to something that doesn't fluctuate with your mood or your results, because motivation will always be unreliable. Purpose is a different thing entirely. So here's what separates the top 1% from everyone else. It's not talent. It's not money. It's not luck. It's the decision. made once and honored every day, to show up when you don't feel like it, to lay the brick on the tired nights, to keep the word you gave yourself, even when nobody is watching and the results haven't arrived, and the comfortable option is right there waiting for you. That decision is available to you right now, not tomorrow, not when your circumstances change or your schedule clears up or you finally feel ready. Right now, tonight. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's not resources. It's the number of nights you showed up and the number of nights you didn't. And only one of those numbers is fixed. If this landed, drop a like. It helps more than you know. Subscribe for new videos every Thursday on business, productivity, mindset, fitness, and dating. Check out Sweet Dreams Enterprises in the description if you want tools to accelerate the build. And drop a comment. What's the one thing you're going to show up for tonight? I read every single comment. I also post videos on Saturdays about a dark psychology series. 30 videos. We're going to be on video number 2 this Saturday. I'll see you next Thursday. Stay disciplined, stay faithful, and keep building. Peace.